Hey guys, this is OracleDaphne. My name is Beth, and I'm back today to do a divine feminine and divine masculine tea reading. I wanted to do a couples focused reading for my OracleDaphne channel. I just uploaded a different one for my Whale Called Moon channel. I really kind of like, splitting up the different styles of readings, doing mostly tea readings over on that channel. But, I'm a creative person and I'm kind of spreading the love. I had posted another one, which was a duplicate actually of one I posted on my Well Called Moon channel recently. That was a divine masculine and divine feminine reading. This one is also going to be divine masculine to divine feminine reading, or flip-flopping it. It's divine feminine to divine masculine. I'm going to start off with the divine feminine and look at also then the divine masculine. But I wanted to do it for this channel just because I feel like a lot of people who are in relationships watch my content, and it's always interesting to see, on different platforms and different places where how I pick up different energies. So I did another one, and I kind of just was like, I like this setup. I like the energy today. I'm just going to do another one and see what I get for most likely a different scenario, different couples. And so I'm going to start off by reading the divine feminine, and then I'm going to look at the divine masculine. This cup represents divine feminine. This cup represents divine masculine. And, before I begin, I just want to say a big thank you to everybody who has donated. I have asked for donations. I will continue to ask for donations. All of my videos are free, and so I tell everybody that, and it's been 5 years this way. So until I get my monetization back, I ask for donations just because I create so much content, and it takes a lot of time to do all the work that I do and keep all this free basically. So if you can donate, all the links are going to be in the description box, but also in the comments. My donate button is going to be in the comments, and please let me know what you think. Please like this video; it really helps. Right now, my new channel is getting more views than this channel, which has been here for so long. So, all of the love and support's appreciated. A big thank you to everybody who's been amazing, and longtime fans and followers. I just appreciate the love and support so much. So. I'm going to jump in and see what I get. This is for, again, I'm starting with the divine feminine. This is Nettles tea for the divine feminine, and the other one for the divine masculine is the green tea with kombucha and lemon verbena leaves. I feel like the divine feminines on this, that are watching on this channel are really coming to a fork in the road with their relationships. I feel like you're coming to a decision point in your life, maybe in your own life personally. It's very common for people, and I see this all the time, that you most likely are not going to get into a new relationship until you make some decisions in your own life, whether it's a job change or move. Oftentimes, these changes need to happen first in order to be at the right place at the right time to meet a divine masculine. Those of you divine feminines who are watching and who are single are kind of wondering, okay, where is he? Like, where is the person? I feel like you're coming to like a fork in the road. And to me, that represents decision makings, being at a crossroads in your life for some of you. The crossroads in the life is very fascinating. I met this guy at the library, and I stopped him actually to find out what his tattoos meant. And he told me he was actually super psychic. He's like, you're at a crossroads. I was like, that's fascinating. I hadn't really thought about it. And what is a crossroads? It's a point in your life where it's a major kind of point in time where you're really thinking about things differently. You're taking stock of where you've been and really kind of figuring, okay, well, where do I want to go from here? Like, what comes next? And people may be impatient with you, and people may be very judgmental of you. They say midlife crisis, no, it's a midlife unraveling where everything unravels. It's a very, very deep process for some of you who are going through it, or just kind of a similar process of transformation. And this is Divine Feminines, but those of you who are watching and you are a masculine, but you identify as a Divine Feminine, this could be also for you. Like, I'm seeing a transformation for both energies, being at a point of transition or transformation, or just having to make some decisions in your life. Do you really want to keep things the same? Where do you want to go from here? What are your goals and aspirations and dreams? Like, all that is in play with this energy here. Yeah. It's sort of like, it's very directional. Do you go right? Do you go left? There's a book, my favorite book by Melody Beattie, Journey to the Heart, which I read, in my readings for clients. But that book actually has changed my life, and I've done so much work just by reading that book alone. It's an amazing book. You absolutely should get it. But one of the parts in it where she talks about trying to figure out what path to take in life, and she says, take the path that feels the lightest. That is the message for Divine Feminines today. If you're in a relationship and it's heavy, it's too heavy, then that's not the path for you. That is a path or something that you need to examine as, okay, is this too much of a painful relationship? Is this too much hurt? How much damage or how much pain and suffering am I willing to tolerate? And again, I actually feel like this goes for both masculine, divine masculine, and divine feminines here. I feel like, males who are watching, you might be like asking yourself similar questions, like when is enough? When is enough and is enough? When is it enough? And I tell my clients, you don't need a reason to make a decision in your life. You don't need permission. Sometimes it's not financially doable. I have had clients who cannot literally leave their house because they don't have a mode of transportation, or they don't have a job, or they don't have any money. So they kind of have to stay where they're at. Some of you feminines might feel like similarly, only it might not actually be related to a masculine. You might feel, I want to say, imbalanced, actually, where you don't have enough masculine energy in your life, where you don't have enough grounding in your life, where you're maybe feel not necessarily stuck, but like you can't leave because you don't have the things that you need, whether it's a mode of transportation or whether it's money to go somewhere, or a chunk of change that would be like a down payment on another house. Sometimes it's down payments, for getting another apartment, splitting things up. All that stuff is in play here with the feminines. That's what I'm seeing. But I also saw there was another thing too that I wanted to come through about. I called the Devil's Fork. Okay, the Devil's Fork path is about a strong lust-based relationship. And the Devil's Fork path is where, it doesn't necessarily lead to a relationship. There's a lot of interesting exchanges. There's a lot of fantasy. Sometimes people end up hooking up. Sometimes they don't. But most of the time, it's about feeling a strong sense of passion or lust for a particular person. And so I feel like Divine Feminines, you might be in some kind of third party, or you might have like strong lust for a particular person. And it's sort of like that fork path is really about going, okay, like, do I really want to engage in this behavior? Do I really want to be involved in a third party relationship? If I know somebody's in a relationship, do I really want to go there? Now, the thing about, and I'm just going to say this thing that's fascinating to me is that love transcends what is written on a piece of paper. Love transcends marriage contracts, is what I'm talking about. Love transcends all race and color, and it is something you absolutely cannot control. So a lot of times there is some elements of love, even if people don't admit it, or attraction that brings people together. And it's very hard to say no. It's very hard to stop. It's very hard to not engage in that behavior. I also feel like the element of freedom is something people don't talk about, in our culture especially. You know, we have a very religious, heavy, dominant culture where talking about love or talking about freedom is something that's just not even acceptable. And, you know, Esther, I think her name is Esther Perel, she did this talk about infidelity, and she talked about how people feel the most free when they are engaging in third-party relationships. They feel the most free. They feel like they are, you know, exercising their free will. So there's an element here with the divine feminines about exercising your free will and either deciding to engage in a third-party relationship or deciding not to. But it's really about your free will and deciding, okay, what is it that I want to engage in? Where do I want to put my energy? Where is going to be the best use of my time? And for some of you, you're going to want to pull back your energy from a masculine who might be taking a lot of your energy, but not giving anything in return. And that really is a third-party relationship. That's the definition. It's the short end of the stick. It's like a part-time job. You know, you don't get the benefits of a full-time job, and you do pretty much just as much work, if not more. And you can't even go get really a second job because you're so busy with the part-time job, or you're so exhausted from the part-time jobs. So that basically is the equivalent. I want to look at how the divine masculines are holding up with this and see where they're at with this. I feel my guide said heavy baggage. So for some of you divine masculines, or watching for your divine masculine, this divine masculine has been carrying around some form of baggage, whether that is previous relationship, previous kids from, you know, someone they dated, a girlfriend, something about things in their life that they've gone through that, like, you know, in their history of their life, which is considered baggage. For some, the baggage has to do with, I want to say, like, drugs and alcohol. Maybe it's alcohol abuse or, you know, substance abuse. I also want to say for some, the baggage is having dated, like, the main thing that's coming through is like having dated many people. Like, this is a masculine who has been in multiple relationships or has had, I don't know, maybe been married more than once is what I'm seeing. Maybe married more than once, or just had many girlfriends, or I want to say has had their share of heartbreak as well. This is a person that has been through some things in their life and has had their share. And some of that is still baggage. It's unresolved. It's like maybe they have unresolved issues with child support. Some of you, it's like they have unresolved issues with their previous partner. For some of you, it's what you would call, and I don't even like to say this, a karmic, okay, where they're learning a lot of heavy lessons in a long-term partnership, and that partner is what you would call a karmic. Now, I actually believe the majority of our relationships are karmic relationships. I hate to say that. The majority, they're not soulmate relationships. They're contracted relationships. They're karmic relationships. Most people do not want to hear that. It's just my personal opinion. From what I've seen, I see that, you know, there's a lot of people out there that are looking for a soulmate. And a lot of times the soulmate relationships have some kind of karmic connection or karmic tie as well, past life connection, whether it's not, you know, a contract or not. It's actually more involved and more complicated than just, oh, you know, you find your soulmate and then that's, you know, you live happily ever after. I feel like it's just a lot more complicated than people are thinking. This is an interesting reading. One of the things that's coming through about this masculine is that this masculine might have a very good sense of humor, or he might really lighten you up, or light you up in some way. I feel like there's some thing about him in particular that brings the best out of you. They either brings out your positive side, or brings a smile to your face, or makes you laugh in some way. Like, there's reasons here why you might, for some of you, even be in love with this masculine. Like for some, there's a lot of love and there's a lot of light within this relationship. I feel for some of you, either you've slept with them before, or you most likely are going to, if you've slept with them before, most likely you're going to sleep with them again. I also feel like there's just a strong, like maybe chemistry or strong tie or strong bond with this person, this masculine. What is the message from this masculine? Like, what is the connection to this feminine here? This feminine who's kind of at this crossroads. Like, I'm just asking my guides, like, what's the connection? My guides are showing me, this sounds interesting. They're showing me like a boat. It's like they're your safety. They're your boat to take you to like a safe, like they're your safe passage, kind of. They're, for some of you, kind of like, I would almost say someone that it's like a transition relationship. Maybe somebody you're rebounding with. It's like they're taking you somewhere. That for some of you, they're gonna help you out of whatever situation that you're going through into like your next chapter. It's like they're your ticket. They're your ticket out is what I'm seeing. But for some, it's more of just like, for some, they make you feel safe. They make you feel seen. They lighten up your life. For some, there's a lot of romance with this masculine, or there could be a lot of romance with this masculine. I'm seeing, like a sunset. I'm seeing, proposals out on like a terrace somewhere. I'm seeing like, just like maybe even like sitting by the water somewhere, or sitting by a lake or sitting by a river or something where there's water, where you're sitting together. I feel like there's some elements of like, or sitting in the sunshine, like doing fun things in the sun, either with family, with kids. I feel like for some of you, this masculine could eventually become like a partner. It could be some element of a blended family. I'm seeing some kind of blended family as well. It might be very interesting to see how it kind of blends together. I don't necessarily know if everybody's going to get along. It's bringing a smile to my face when I'm thinking about it. It's a little Modern Family, kind of, to me. It feels like a little like Modern Family, okay? Where there's some interesting characters within the family, and or just different personalities, or just different, like you wouldn't expect, the family to end up the way it's going to end up, but it has some element of character to it. For some, this is like a large family. This person has a large family, or they come from a large family. I feel like if you were to have a family with this person, you're going to end up having a large family. That's what I want to say. And it might be like kind of unexpected, where you think, okay, well, this is my person. And then you end up having, several children together. It's, to me, I'm seeing like a long table, and I'm seeing like, lots of family dinners, and or just a lot of quality family time with this masculine. What else is coming through for the masculine? Just to give like the feminine an idea of like what else does the divine masculine want to say? I'm seeing, oh, that's so interesting. I'm seeing the mountains. I'm seeing the mountains, and I'm seeing like, I don't know, you can see it's on the camera actually. You can see it's like here. It's the mountains and the sunlight coming through on the sun on the mountains. This is a person who's going to be a very good kisser. You're going to kiss this person a lot. You're going to really enjoy kissing this person, this masculine. They said, I feel like there's better times ahead. It's almost like, I don't know, like it's very romantic. It has that kind of like Western kind of romance, riding off in the sunset kind of energy. Just kind of, it's going to be more romantic than what you're thinking. But it's really, really beautiful. I feel like if there's been any issues, you can see kind of, there might have been some issues, or kind of stormy a little bit. I feel like it's going to become less so over time. And you're going to be able to, I don't know, see, like wait for the clouds to part, basically. Because behind the clouds, you can see all this sunlight wanting to come through. It's really beautiful energy, actually. So from the divine masculine, I feel like there's the positive message is just like kind of like hang in there almost. I feel like they kind of want to tell you that there's going to be some good times ahead. You're going to have a lot of beautiful, see, I moved the straw and it's just really beautiful behind those clouds, all that light kind of like wanting to come through. So yeah, it's going to become lighter. That's what I want to say. I mean, it's not always going to be perfect, obviously, but it's going to become lighter, especially between the two of you. I don't know how that's going to factor in with the divine feminines. It seems like it's a little bit of a mystery of how you're going to kind of get there, but it's not for me to tell you how. It's just for me to, go through the messages. So thank you guys so much. I wish you guys all the best. I send everyone big hugs, big kisses. And I'll talk to you guys again soon.